Hello, how are you? It's been a wonderful time. Yes, I believe you've been good. Thank God, I've been good myself. Okay, so today I just want to quickly shed a little bit of light on the question a lot of people have been asking me about the news, right? That came up with, from the Minister of Interior, I guess, who was talking about the people that renounce being Nigerians and how their Nigerian passports, will be revoked or, removed from them. Well, first of all, what I want to say is that this is very clear and it's been like that since we have the constitution. It's in the Nigerian constitution, actually in the chapter 3 of the constitution that talks about citizenship. Okay, so if you go to the Nigerian constitution from section 25 down to section, let me see, 29, 30, 31, 32, up to section 32 of the Nigerian constitution, it talks about citizenship and what it all entails. Who is a Nigerian, who is not a Nigerian, who can become a Nigerian, who can cease to be a Nigerian. So I would advise anyone to get a copy of the Constitution. It's all there, 234 pages. I've read the Constitution since I was young, read it page to page. So it's something you should know. If you're a Nigerian, you should know the Nigerian Constitution. You should read it. It's your right. Okay, so you won't be shocked by such news, so it's no news, actually. It's nothing new. It's something that is normal. When someone renounces, citizenship of a country, of course, you have left that sovereignty and you cannot actually have the official document of that country. That's what it simply means. So a lot of people have been asking me, what about those of us that have the Spanish nationality? Okay, another thing is dual citizenship. It does not exist, especially between Nigeria and Spain. Okay, so you cannot have dual citizenship. You cannot be a Spanish and at the same time continue to be a Nigerian. For example, if you are a Spanish and maybe you had Argentinian passport, you can still have both nationalities because there is this agreement between the Ibero-American countries and Spain. Okay, that's an example. I believe it's the same thing for the UK as a Nigerian because we are part of the Commonwealth. So possibly you can be a British and still be a Nigerian. I'm not sure. I'm not putting my word to that. But I am sure about Nigeria and Spain that there is no agreement, there is no bilateral agreement for you to be able to have dual citizenship. All right, so let's break it down. Now, let's look at the process. A lot of times we just look at results, we look at stories online, and we don't understand the process. So what is the process of becoming a Spanish? What is the process of becoming a Nigerian? And what would be the process of no longer being a Nigerian and no longer being a Spanish? And then what are the consequences of all this? So first of all, most of us that got our Spanish nationality, we were first Nigerians. Now, how did we become Nigerians? We were Nigerians by birth, and that is the highest and the strongest way to become a Nigerian citizen. If your parents, any of your parents is Nigerian, automatically the constitution says that you are a Nigerian. Okay, so you are a Nigerian. By birth, you are a Nigerian. So that gives you the Nigerian citizenship. Okay, and nobody can take that away from you. As long as you were born as Nigerian, you will always be a Nigerian. Always. Until you renounce being a Nigerian. Now, that's just being a Nigerian. Now, to become a Spanish, you know the process. There is a process. You can also be a Spanish by birth. If one of your parents is Spanish, then as a child, you can automatically become Spanish if you are under 18 years of age. Now, in this case, many Nigerians that actually become Spanish were not Spanish by birth. So they became Spanish by residence, which means that they have lived in Spain for over 10 years or up to 10 years continuously, and they applied for the citizenship. The same thing applies in Nigeria. If you have lived in Nigeria, I think for more than 7 years, in the case of Nigeria, it's more than 7 years, and you wish to become a Nigerian, you can also apply for the citizenship, and then the presidency can grant you such, and you will become a Nigerian. So that's naturalization. You become Nigerian by naturalization. So the same thing with by residence, sorry, the same thing with the Spanish nationalities that lived in Spain for up to 10 years. So you wrote the exams, you put in for the nationality, and they grant it to you. But then, when you were going to take the nationality, okay, of Spain now, the Spanish nationality, you swore an oath. Now, this is where it becomes complicated and dangerous, okay? Now, the oath you swore an oath to the crown of the Kingdom of Spain, saying that you renounce yourself of every other nationality and you become a Spanish. That was the point where internationally you renounced Nigeria. Okay, so if the Nigerian government actually receives such, you submit such to the Nigerian government, they will send it to the presidency, and the presidency will decide if they actually allow you to renounce your nationality as a Nigerian. But because we don't submit it to them in Nigeria, we only do that swearing in Spain. Nobody in Nigeria knows that you are no longer a Nigerian, or you said you are no longer a Nigerian. So that's why you are able to attain that Spanish citizenship. Okay, so you are now a Spanish. And according to the law, you can only bear the Spanish passport when it comes to Spain or Europe. They should never see you again with your Nigerian passport, because you have sworn an oath to the crown of the Kingdom of Spain that you are no longer a Nigerian, you are now a Spanish. All right, that's the process. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, how do you renounce your citizenship? There is a process, and that is what you will see in chapter 3, okay? Section 29 of the Constitution. So, section 29, subsection 1 says, any citizen of Nigeria of full age who wishes to renounce his Nigerian citizenship shall make a declaration in the prescribed manner for the renunciation. So there is a process to that. It's not just because you have become Spanish, so automatically you are no longer a Nigerian. No, you, according to the Constitution, you must follow a process to do that. So the first thing is you will make this declaration known. Okay, so the president will now take that declaration and then register it. So once it is registered, then they can now say, okay, you are no longer a Nigerian. It is at that point that your Nigerian passport can be revoked from you, can be taken away, and can be made null and void. Okay, so the question is, have you made that declaration in Nigeria that you are no longer a Nigerian? No. So let me now explain to you exactly what we are doing. So for Nigerians that became Spanish, what you are doing is this. Let me just give you narratively. It's like you having a wife in Nigeria. You are married legally in Nigeria. You keep that wife in Nigeria. You now traveled abroad. Now let's say you now come to Spain. You now told them you got some documents telling them you are single and you have never been married. And because there is no other way they can cross-check, the only way is to ask questions and look at those documents. And one way or the other, you got those documents. And you told them, I'm never married. And then you married another wife here in Spain. So what is happening? You now have two wives. Okay? Now you have a wife in Spain, you have a wife in Nigeria. And you are managing them. No problem. You know, the wife in Spain does not know you have a wife in Nigeria. And you don't keep pictures. You don't take pictures. So you will never take pictures. You will never send messages. You will never allow the wife in Spain to know about the wife in Nigeria. And the same way, you will never allow the wife in Nigeria to know about the wife in Spain. That is how, you know, people that keep wives, that's how they do it. And that's exactly what you are doing with two nationalities. And so you have to be careful. Because the day the wife in Spain will know that you have a wife in Nigeria, or the wife in Nigeria will know that you have a wife in Spain, then you would be in trouble. And you can stand the chance of losing the two of them. It's possible. Or you will lose one and you will suffer with the second one. So let me explain that in now legal terms, right? I'm not a lawyer, please. Whatever I'm saying here is just from what I've read, especially from the Constitution and what I know about the Spanish Constitution and, of course, common sense. Okay, so this is what is happening now and my own advice. What are the things you can do and the things you cannot do? Number one, you cannot carry the two passports at the same time before any authority. So it's like carrying your wife in Spain to go and attend a party in Nigeria, and you are not inviting the wife in Nigeria too. What do you think will happen? It's not going to work. There's going to be a big fight. So you cannot say, okay, I want to travel to Nigeria. You now carry your Spanish passport because you don't want to get a visa. You show them the Spanish passport at the border. And then they allow you to go. I mean, no, you show them the Nigerian passport at the Spanish border. Oh, they say, oh, he's a Nigerian, let him go. And then you get to Nigeria, you now show them the Spanish passport again. Or you show them Nigerian passport, or you just continue mixing it like that. The day they will catch you, you will be in very big trouble. You can actually go to prison for that if they don't revoke your nationality. They might not go to that extent, but they can either multa you, that's fine you, you pay a big fine, or you go to prison. Because what you're doing is illegal and it's a crime. So this is what you need to do. If you have Spanish passport, everywhere you want to go around the world, and of which that is the benefit, because you don't need visa to go to about 144 countries of the world with Spanish passport. So big favor for you, big plus for you. So travel the world, Travel in Europe with your Spanish passport. Never ever show your Nigerian passport. As a matter of fact, if there is nothing you need your Nigerian passport for in Spain, don't bring it to Spain. Just take a picture of it, keep it somewhere in your phone, and keep your Nigerian passport in Nigeria so that you don't complicate your life. Listen, if you want to travel to any European country and you are bringing out the Nigerian passport, remember, they have a centralized database. So they can actually tell which country you belong to by the time they get your fingerprint or even just your face. Now, don't risk it. Don't bring out your Nigerian passport internationally. Please let your Nigerian passport remain a local document that you use only in Nigeria. So when you go to Nigeria also, at the airport, once you clear yourself as a Spanish, you get your visa to travel, you clear yourself. Once you are leaving that airport, keep your Spanish passport. And then when you get home, you can bring out your Nigerian passport to run your accounts or whatever you want to do in Nigeria. Because you did not renounce your citizenship officially in Nigeria. But this is not something you want to be doing openly, because the day you are caught, you will pay for it. So, in short, what the interior minister said is nothing new, number one. It's nothing wicked. It's just saying what is in the constitution and what common sense teaches anybody that, of course, knows about the law and knows the implication of what they are doing. So simple and straight. When you are Spanish or German or American or whatever passport you hold as a former Nigerian, always get your visas to go to Nigeria. And then when you get to Nigeria, because you are still a Nigerian by birth, and Nigerians with Nigerian constitution says that they will not deny you of your citizenship except you expressly say and declare to the presidency in Nigeria that you don't want to be a Nigerian again. So locally, they still respect you. They still see you as a Nigerian. So you can still have your Nigerian passport in Nigeria, your NIN and all your documents in Nigeria. But please, don't say because you want to run away from visa fees, I won't take visa, I'll use Nigerian passport. You are risking a lot. So this is just what I want to say. And for those that have been calling and asking questions, that's the simple answer. It's long, but it's simple. Share this with friends, share this with anybody that this might help. And please don't say because of that, I'm not going to take the Spanish passport, I'm not going to take the German passport. Well, weigh it, whichever one you want. You can remain in Nigeria and have your Nigerian passport and always look for visa to travel the world, or you get this other passport and keep your Nigerian passport in Nigeria. And of course, with your language, with your color, with everything, you will always be a Nigerian. Thank you very much. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. Akinshola said it. I'll see.